Good morning, Year 4, and welcome to your English lesson. And today we are learning to use possessive apostrophes. So, first question is, what is a possession? Have a pause the video now and talk to someone next to you, mum, dad, sister, brother, cat, whoever's around you. What is a possession? Okay, so a possession is something that you own. So the boy here is owning his toy aeroplane. So what do you own? You might own a toy, you might own a house, and you might own some parents. Now, obviously here, when we talk about own, you obviously own your toys, they're yours. The house you probably don't own, it belongs to your parents, not you. And your parents, you own them? Well, you don't own them that you can sell them, unfortunately, but you do own them in that they are yours. So when we say possession, it doesn't mean it's something you own which is just yours. It means it's something that belongs to you. So the toy belongs to you, the house belongs to you and your family, and your parents belong to you, like you belong to your parents, unfortunately. So we're going to learn today how to use an apostrophe to show possession. So once again, we've got the boy here with his toy. So to use a possession to show that he owns it, we say the boy's toy aeroplane. Now, can you see here we have in purple an apostrophe and then an S. Now, normally, obviously, if we put an S on the end of a noun, it pluralizes it, means there's one of them. So normally, if we had an S on the end of boy, it would mean there was more than one boy. But the apostrophe there tells you that there is only one boy and that he owns the next thing that happened after that noun. So the boy's toy aeroplane. It's the boy who owns the toy aeroplane, and the apostrophe S on that noun boy tells you the next thing in the sentence is the thing that he owns. So the boy apostrophe S toy aeroplane, showing that the boy owns the toy aeroplane. So let's look at a couple more examples. The child's school uniform was filthy and slimy. The apostrophe S after child tells you that that child owns the school uniform. In the afternoon, Mrs. Vaux's biscuit tin is empty. That's telling you that the biscuit tin is owned by Mrs. Vaux because Mrs. Vaux has an apostrophe S after it. Mr. Alloway's ideas are always the best in Year 4. That's telling you that Mr. Alloway owns the ideas. We know that because of an apostrophe S after Mr. Alloway, and the next thing is the ideas. Miss Barrett's class often smell of mouldy cheese. The apostrophe S is after Miss Barrett. Class is the next word, so that is telling you that Miss Barrett owns the class. I'm sure she doesn't want to, but they're her class and they smell of cheese. What about, though, if the noun is not a singular noun and it's a plural noun? So rather than having a child, there are children. Rather than having a goose, there are geese. So let's have a look, shall we? The children's green book. You can see the same thing again. The noun has changed from child to children, but again we have an apostrophe S to show you that that group of children own the green book. The geese's coffee. Once again, the apostrophe S is after geese. That is the plural noun that owns the next thing in the sentence, the coffee. So when we're looking at a plural noun, so we've got more than one or something, so more than one child, more than one goose, we put an apostrophe S on the end still to show that they possess the next thing. But the next bit is where it gets a little bit tricky. What about a plural noun that already ends in an S? So for example, the wolves' stinky breath. So can you see here that after the plural noun wolves already ends in an S. So rather than having an apostrophe S, it just has an apostrophe. So the wolves' stinky breath, the wolves just have an apostrophe rather than an apostrophe S. That is because otherwise it would be the wolves' stinky breath. It just doesn't sound right, does it? So rather than having the wolves' and trying to put another S on the end of it, we just have the wolves' apostrophe stinky breath. So that apostrophe is telling you that the noun is plural, wolves, which is the plural of wolf, and that they own something, they own that stinky breath. They should do, it's stinky. And we just use the apostrophe rather than apostrophe S. So the next one, the parents' children. There's more than one parent, as you can see, there's two of them smiling at them. They own the children. I bet they wish it didn't, but they do. And therefore we have an apostrophe after the S, not an apostrophe S. Otherwise it'd be the parents', which again doesn't quite sound right, does it? So if we have a plural noun that ends in S, we put an apostrophe, not an apostrophe S. So looking at today's success criteria, in order to use apostrophes for possession, the first thing you need to do is identify the noun that has possession. So when we had the wolves' stinky breath, the noun that has the possession is the wolves. If the noun is singular, add apostrophe S. If the noun is plural but does not end in S, add apostrophe S. If the noun is plural but does end in S, add an apostrophe on its own. So those are the important success criteria to remember today. So whenever you look for that noun that has possession, you have to be checking, is it singular? Is it plural? Does it already end in an S? So I've got 4 sentences here, and some of them are correct and some of them are incorrect. So let's look through them and decide whether we think they're correct or incorrect. So the first one, the boy's bike was blue. So obviously the boy must be the thing that's possessing something because that has the apostrophe S in it. The next word is bike. So this is showing you, because it's got a boy apostrophe S bike, it's telling you that it's a singular boy and it is possessing or owning that bike. So this sentence is, of course, correct. Let's look at the next sentence. The dinosaur's claws were enormous. Well, there's no apostrophe here at all, is there? So let's have a look at the thing that could be owning something. Well, the dinosaurs can own something. Claws can't really own anything. So the claws must belong to the dinosaur. So therefore, we're obviously missing an apostrophe. Now, because the dinosaur owns the claws, the apostrophe should have been between the R and the S to show you that the dinosaur, the singular, owns the claws. So this sentence is wrong. The next one, the Roman soldiers' swords were razor sharp. Well, we've got an apostrophe S this time that's telling you that it's belonging to the Roman soldiers. It already has an S after soldier, sorry. So it's telling you there's more than one soldier there. So it's a plural noun and they're owning the swords. Well, as we know, if it's a plural noun and it ends in an S, we should just have an apostrophe, not an apostrophe S. So therefore, this one is wrong, and it should be the Roman soldiers, apostrophe, no S, swords are razor sharp. Now, looking at the last sentence, the wolves' mummy said it was dinner time. The wolves is a plural noun. They own their mummy. It's an apostrophe rather than apostrophe S, so this sentence is correct. Okay, so now it's your time. What I've got here for you is a whole load of different nouns you can use, singular and plural. And what I'd like you to do is have a go at creating lots of sentences using these nouns and putting apostrophes in there to show possession. So for example, if I'm looking here and I'm going to go with, in the irregular nouns, I'm going to go with the plural mice. And think about something the mice might own, and I'm going to go with pineapples. So I might say the mice's pineapples were delicious. Okay, with the mice's, because it's a plural noun and it doesn't end in an S, it would be an apostrophe S. Or I could pick another one. I'm going to go with kangaroos down the bottom left there. Now that's an apostrophe, that is a plural noun ending in S, so of course that would just have an apostrophe after it. And I need something they own, so they are going to own oranges this time. So I might put something like the kangaroos' oranges with an apostrophe after the S of kangaroos. The kangaroos' oranges were very, very orange. Okay, now they're not the world's greatest sentences. I would like you to try and create the world's greatest sentences. The big important thing today is following those success criteria to use the apostrophes to show possession. But I'd like you to see if you can make the sentences interesting as well. Can you stick in some adjectives? Can you put a fronted adverbial? Can you put a powerful verb into those sentences? But really importantly, you must have an apostrophe to show possession after that noun, and then the next thing that comes after it must be the thing that they own. Well, I'm lovely to see how you got on with these apostrophes. Make sure you send the work back on Teams so I can have a look, and we really want to see how you get on. Okay, goodbye.